Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pursuit Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Antonaire, and in today's episode, we talk with Justin Jones, the president of American Hero Hunt, which is a nonprofit organization that gives back to our nation's veterans and first responders through guided hunts and fishing trips. So without further ado, let's jump into the conversation. Welcome, everybody. Like I just mentioned, we have Mr. Justin Jones in the house with us today. We are filming live on location here at the Hebron store. Sir, how you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, no problem. And also, as always, the man behind the switches, Mr. Ben Johnson.
What's up?
Or as we just
Ben Jammin.
Ben Jammin. As we just had a conversation about Ben's nickname, Mr. Ben Jammin behind the switch. So Justin is a pro staff member, but Justin is a little bit different in the fact that he runs an organization, nonprofit organization, I should say, called American Hero Hunt. And sir, I will let you kind of give a brief description about that, but we'll come back on and we'll touch on it a little bit more.
Yeah, so American Hero Hunt is like you said, a nonprofit organization. We take veterans and first responders, so that's why it's a Hero Hunt. We take veterans and first responders out on hunting, fishing, camping, you name it. We've done, trap shoot, all kinds of different stuff. But
so, cool. Yeah, and it's been something that Ben and I have been a part of for a little while now, at least a few years. And so it's definitely special to us, special to Vance Outdoors as a sponsor, and it's just a great event. So we'll get into that. Before we get too far, let's go ahead and introduce yourself, kind of talk about your little background story and, family, background, history, hunting, all that good stuff. So.
So Justin Jones, I guess I'd say my current title is president of American Hero Hunt. Growing up, as far as hunting, I didn't really start hunting until I was, sophomore, junior in high school, with a couple buddies. They shotgun hunted whitetail, pushing woods, it's all postage stamp woods and fields up there, up in Northwest Ohio. I'm originally from up by Findlay. I got an awesome wife and two young boys. We moved, me and the wife, and she came down here, started going to school. I followed her down here. It was before we were married, but then obviously we ended up getting married. We've been in the Hebron area since 17, so I'm still kind of feeling my way around and meeting new people and stuff like that. But yeah, we live on a small town or a small farm outside of town between Hebron and Kirkersville. Raised some beef cattle, chickens. We've had some goats. We've kind of done it all. So
shout out Riverbend Farms.
Yeah, Riverbend Farms. Yeah, we raise some beef
there you go.
And sell and stuff like that. So
hey man, it's all good. We gotta promote you where we can. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
But yeah, I stay busy. Like I said, doing all that and the young boys and then just American Hero Hunt alone will keep me super busy. So
awesome. So hunting wise, I think we've known each other for 4 years now. Close to 4 years.
4 or 5 years.
We met at a duck hunting trip, a very unsuccessful duck hunting trip, but the drinks were plentiful. The fun was more than enough.
Yeah, that's where the ticket, camping out like that, setting up a tent and doing all that. So that was always a blast.
It was a fantastic time. Yeah, we Justin and I first met. We duck hunted off of the North Shore of Buckeye Lake. For those of you not familiar with Ohio, that's kind of centrally located here in the state, with a few guys that used to run around with. You want to go into the JMR stuff any bit? Or
we can. Ultimately, JMR, it was Justin, Mike, and Rodney. It was three of us. We kind of hunt and fish and do everything, share it on social media. And that's kind of where, American Hero Hunt originally spun off of. Yeah. For the first 2 years, it was JMR putting on the American Hero Hunt. We would take two guys every year. But yeah, really that's where it started from, and it's kind of gone by the wayside just because of time and effort and everything else is all put into strictly American Hero Hunt now that we're a full nonprofit for the last few years. And
exactly. So let's dive into it real deep. American Hero Hunt. So it's been going on for how many years?
Originally started in been the fall of 16. Our first hunts were in 17. So we started out as it was just going to be a nonchalant way to give back to at that time it was just strictly military heroes, military veterans, active duty. Take one guy on a waterfowl hunt and one guy on a whitetail hunt. We had a little over 100 acres that I had private land that I could hunt over by Bell Fountain. So that's where we took the guy for whitetail. The land was great. but it just, we killed quite a few does and stuff like that. The bucks just didn't live there, so we didn't have a chance to harvest any big bucks. But then the waterfowl, we were, being new, we didn't really, most of what we did, we didn't have, around here, it's hit or miss. It's, you got to have the good spots and the weather. I mean, it's, everybody fights the weather with waterfowl. It's, so we would go up to Pickerel up on Lake Erie and actually do the public land draw. We'd be there at 5:30 in the morning, do the draw, and hopefully we got a good spot. And we had a couple of great years up there. It's just, it's a haul and, having a place to stay and stuff like that. So, yeah, 2017 was the first year. 2019 we took was our first full year as a nonprofit. So we got our IRS F501C, and it's been just crazy since then. I mean, we've gone from 3 of us busting our butts to now we've got a full board of 15 guys, and I got to give a plug to those guys. I wouldn't be anywhere, we wouldn't be able to do what we do with any of them guys. The same with all the
sure.
local guys and sponsors and everything else. I mean, but as far as we were just doing 2 a year. And then we branched into doing, 3 or 4 a year. And then last year, 2021, between 2021 and the muzzleloader hunt of this year, we took out 28 heroes on some kind of
That's
event.
fantastic.
And I in the last, 5 years, it's just, it's crazy to go from 2 a year to 28.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And it's, I can't, I can't ask for much more than what we're doing.
Yeah, and I think it's very important for everyone to know that these are active, retired, servicemen and women, first responders. I mean, this is straight up giving back to those people that have given it all for us. And I know as a company we're incredibly proud to sponsor it. I'm incredibly proud to even be a part of it, have a hat, or be at the events. I know Ben. He's went and filmed some on behalf of Vance Outdoors and to help you as well, just in your own time. I guess we can kind of touch on kind of the camaraderie that we have. I mean, it's not always about killing, which we found out.
Oh no, I mean that's and from the get go, being as small as we were, we didn't have the places to hunt, we didn't have the places to go. That was the number one thing that I was always, and it will always be. I tell the guys, you're going to show up, you're going to have fun. Basically, you're going to eat, hunt, and be fat and have fun.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have plenty of food. We're gonna either sit around a campfire, sit around a table, sit around wherever, and shoot the breeze and have a good time. And we always give back. I mean, that's we bring them on a hunt or bring them on a trip or anything like that. It's not just taking them hunting. With our partnership with Vance's and other local businesses and stuff like that. We try to get gear. We try to outfit them head to toe.
Yep.
So we'll have a table spread full of gear, and we will we'll outfit them head to toe, so they can go home and continue to do what they learn how to do, or go home with gear that they can continue to use or pass down to their kids or whoever. Because ultimately, if we all know if our kids don't hunt,
sure.
We're done.
Yeah. So, yeah. 100%.
But yeah, sitting around the fire. Muskingum County, what was it, 20 or 21?
21.
Was it 21?
I think so.
No, it'd have been 20.
Yeah,
it would have been 20.
Yeah,
well, I think that was the first time I met Ben, too. Was that at Brandon's place?
That was that was at Brandon's place out in his private land.
So it was
out there.
20, yeah.
Yeah, it'd have been 2020. We had a good group. I mean, we camped out. I mean, we had a great time. We camped out, and we did what I love to do, camp out for 4 or 5 days. The guys come in on Thursday. Derek came in on Thursday evening and hunted, and so we had a good handful of us board members always try to show up, whether it's to help out or sit around a fire, do whatever, and that's what happened, and that's where the old Benjamin comes from.
Yeah.
Mr. Randy, Big Randy, he can keep anybody going and talk about anything. And
he was a riot for sure that first night.
and have a good time. I mean, that's
shout out Randy.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll be listening to this at some point. So he'll get a kick out of mentioning that. I'm bet you he'll be laughing in his truck while he's driving, hearing that one.
Yeah, it was. It's a good time. Like I said, I mean, it's always about giving back, not just taking them on a hunt, but having a good time. And the biggest reward for me is seeing how they transform from the time they show up.
Sure.
Because we never know who we're going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, we check their Facebook. We try to figure out who they are. We have them submit pictures and obviously military records and stuff like that. But you never know who you're going to get, and you meet them when they show up. It's great to meet them, but they're, we're all humble people.
Sure.
And they're a little timid. They don't know who they're meeting.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, 100%.
So it's the biggest thing for me is seeing how they transform the time they show up to the time they start opening up and relaxing.
Yeah.
And and just being who they can be and getting I don't want to say therapy out of it because that's not the business we're in, but ultimately at the end of the day,
in some regard,
it's therapeutic to them. It's especially if they've never done this type of hunt or they've never done this, and it's amazing to me. That's what keeps me going.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's the hours upon hours that I put into it on top of my day-to-day job. That ultimately is what keeps me going.
So let's quickly talk. I mean, so you kind of briefly mentioned what the stuff that you get from them. But let's go through the process of how someone would apply. How do they apply? Because some of these guys may not even know really that they've even been applied for. We've seen some that have had spouses. And
Right, yeah. So we take nominations and applications. So, I mean, you can go to AmericanHeroHunt.org. We usually have, so we're getting ready to have a board meeting where we're going to spell that all out and we'll get it put on onto the website. But say we have 10 hunts on there, you can go on there, fill out all your information, or nominate somebody with all their information. We ask for a picture and, like a military ID or DD-214, military record or something, submit with it so we can make sure it's legit. And then, so what'll happen is, so when it comes to this year, we're going to be better about, selecting them ahead of time so we have more time in between. But so it gets 2 months out at one of our meetings. We'll pull all the applications that applied for, the 2022 Athens hunt down in Athens County. We'll sit down as a full board, and before then I'll shoot it out to them, and they'll all have to come to the table with their top 3 or their top 5 out of however many we have. We had 30, 40, whatever they need to narrow them down, and then we'll all, out of all of those that everybody brought, obviously if people brought the same. That'll put them in in the same category, but then we'll each select a top 2 out of what everybody brought, and then we basically we check out their Facebooks, because we ask them for their social media platforms if they have them, and and that's ultimately we try to connect with them. So we try to ask people, if you're going to apply. We get it. You're humble. You don't want to boast yourself or even talk too much about who you are or what you do.
Oh, sure.
Tell us who you are. Try to connect. Try to let us know what you do in your spare time, what you like to do, and stuff like that. Because ultimately, that's how we connect, and that's how we say, oh, well, yeah, we really need to give this person a chance to do this, or he's busting his butt 60 hours a week type of thing, and we need to give him a chance. And so really that's what it boils down. We always pick 2. We'll call the first one our number 1. We'll call them right there in the meeting on speakerphone. And it's really cool when they're a nominee and they didn't even know they were nominated.
I would imagine. Yeah, they're like, who the hell are you?
You're like, who are you?
What?
Who? And they're like, yeah, somebody put you in for it, or yeah, your wife did this, and she's like, and then they're like, no way. And
what would you say, like, out of the applicants, like, how many people are like truly know, or how many people are just nominated by like a wife or a family member?
I would say it's probably an 80-20.
Yeah.
20% nominations, 80% they put in for themselves.
They put in for themselves.
Which a lot of it is ultimately social media. I mean, we live or die by social media. Now if I knew more people in the local area, we'd be able to get be able to get more connections with this and that and stuff. People. But I mean, we've grown. I mean, we can't ask to grow too much more than what we already have. I mean, it's been tremendous, and just
from us looking in for Ben and I mean, it's been just in that short time that we've known each other. I mean, it's grown.
It's been
tenfold.
A big change since the first one that I've been on.
Yeah, I mean, just all the video, the footage. I mean, just everything. I mean, it's It's crazy. So I will put a plug out there if there's any video editors that want to help us out, or we got any young photographers or video guys that want to tag along and video for us. We could use the help for sure.
It's
Definitely.
a blast.
Yeah.
If you're listening, it's fun.
It is fun. Crawford stands out an example.
Oh, yeah.
Crawford, Brandon, Shorty down in Athens County.
Yep.
I mean, those are the ones. Travis and I went, which is another board member, Travis. Him and I drove down to Athens County, and I just went just for the night just to hang out. I mean, that place.
And I
Shout
appreciate
out to Shorty.
that. That place is sweet. Yeah, Shorty, Kip, all the brothers, the family. I mean, that place is amazing.
Yep.
And we've been there 3 years, and they're as long as they own the place, they said we can come back and hunt every year.
So for sure. And you had a great opportunity this year, Coshocton County, able to successfully harvest a nice buck.
Yeah.
For Coshocton. I mean,
it was a Whitetail Heritage of Ohio. Another nonprofit organization that takes youth and first-time hunters and stuff out. They opened up their land to us to come out and hunt, not once but twice actually this year.
Yeah,
we went out for a shotgun hunt as well as our archery in October. So, I mean, it's we're growing, we're meeting people, and we all have the same mindset of just giving back to the heroes. Giving back to the people who are day to day fighting on the line, whether it's for our communities or for our country.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
it's a great thing too, because like you said earlier, they show up. Like just from the two that I've been on, they show up and they're kind of like, I don't really know what's going on. And you can see them relax.
Yeah.
And then they start cutting up with everybody second night in.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome to see it.
I think the biggest one for me was when we camped out muzzleloader in it would have been 2021, just because it was January at the end of the season. The biggest was Scott Reed and for some reason I always forget his name. Came up from Georgia, Brad Watts. And Scott Reed is from down south, southern Ohio, Chillicothe or Coshocton, Chillicothe. But I mean, that was those two are the two. I guess I would say maybe they're introvert type people.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the last 2 days, and we camped out Thursday night through because it'd been Friday night because it's Ohio's muzzleloader is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a 5 day. That's a 5 day deal, setting up, camping out, and everything else. And we stayed in our big wall tent. It was freezing cold. But we had the wood burner and we were, everything like that. But them two guys were, we picked them from, we picked them out of the, applicants, and they ended up being, pretty much one and the same type people. And by the end of it, man, it was awesome. And Eric ended up getting to harvest a sweet buck. He's getting ready to pick up from High Point Taxidermy. I just got a picture the other day. I'm waiting for him to pick it up before I can share that. But that thing looks amazing.
Sweet. Well, it's important what you just said too. He came from Georgia. You know what I mean? So it's not just Central Ohio based or even Ohio based for that matter.
Right. So like Saturday, this weekend we have a pheasant hunt going on. We're taking 2 local guys. We put it out on Facebook a couple weeks ago. Like, hey, hurry up, get in on this. Who's available this day? We can take them out. We selected 2 guys, and we're taking them out Saturday morning. We're going to hunt. And then Saturday afternoon, we're going to hunt another 10 birds. So, it's not just local. It's not just Ohio. We've had guys come. We had a guy come from Georgia. We had a guy come from Wisconsin. We had a guy come from 8 hours away in Pennsylvania. That was just, for the muzzleloader hunt that we just had. And it's, I can't thank them guys enough for driving that far and doing what they're doing, to come with us. But
sure.
But yeah, we select for our big hunts like that. We select applications nationwide. So don't,
be discouraged.
Don't be discouraged by it being in Ohio. If you can get here, that's our biggest thing. Is if you can get here, we cover from the rest. All we ask is for you to show up. Whether you fly into Columbus, I'll come pick you up.
Sure.
Or whatever. All you got to do is get here, and then we'll take care of the rest from there. And if you are out of state, we will actually, as an organization, we will cover your out-of-state license and 1 tag as well. So ultimately, the only cost you have is getting here, and then we'll actually, another thing we've started doing this year is we will cover 1 deer processing. Now, if you're out of state and you want to take it home right away, we did it for shotgun this year. We deboned that thing and butchered it up right in Eric's shop.
Yeah.
Right on the table, right on a a fold out table. I mean, and that was part of the camaraderie. I mean, he come down from Michigan.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, he was like, well, we had a grinder, we had everything, we did it right there. Ground it all up, vacuum sealed it, and he took a cooler full home and meat, and that's what he wanted.
So I guess, do you happen to have, like, out of the people that are showing up, I mean, at this point you've had probably close to at least 50 people probably so far, right? I mean, you would think close to.
Yeah, we're maybe close to 50 probably.
Out of that group, you think primarily, like, what's the demographic in terms of hunting frequency, if you will? That's probably a bad term, but
they're the type of people that we are. They put their family first. They used to
Sure.
hunt when they were younger, and then they had kids, got married, whatever, did all that, and it's been 20, 30 years since they've actually put any time in for themselves, and stuff like that. I mean, and then other guys, there's some of them are avid guys who just haven't, they hunt all species, or they hunt all the different seasons and stuff, and one, they don't have success like me. They're just horrible hunters, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. That buck that you got, what was that, last year?
Had a bit, yeah, shotgun season in 21 shotgun season.
The River Bend monster.
Yeah, well, he wasn't quite a monster, but I had some other big ones, and this one stopped out, and it was shotgun season, so he got it. But yeah, I mean, we've had a full. It's been a mixed bag, and it's. If people put on their application that they're, they've never hunted, or they want to do the, they hunt this species, but they've never hunted whitetail, or they've never
Sure.
done, obviously that weighs a little bit on it. But really, to me, that's not what it's about.
No.
To me, it's about giving back to them, whether they,
Well, and you think they're coming from a sense, whether they're in the military or they're a first responder, regardless which branch or which service you're doing, you're coming from an experience of camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no stronger bond than the brotherhood that is military brotherhood.
Oh, yeah.
Or first responder, the police brotherhood, firemen, whatever have you. And so, I feel like, and you hear it all the time, and you see the military therapy groups, and you see, the other nonprofits that are doing things for military, that camaraderie. I mean, when you go to one of these events, not only yourself, you're a veteran,
mm-hmm.
but there's other veterans there that are part of the board members.
Yeah, there's only I think 4 of us on the board who are not either a veteran or first responder.
Exactly. So. And so when they get there, they're not just coming and talking to somebody that's just hosting them. Hey, I'm a Marine. Well, I guess I was a Marine too. Where did you serve? Well, I served here. I mean, I've seen it with my own 2 eyes when I was there. These guys are like, like a Mike Lake.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's the devil dog through and through. And it's like, he has these experiences. He can talk about, Iraq or Afghanistan or whatever have you. And it just helps. Sometimes people just don't want to talk about that stuff.
Right.
And so you can only truly talk about it. I mean, and really, really, truly get it with someone that really understands.
Yeah, sitting around a campfire with, like-minded guys and going back to, basically reverting back to, the time they were in the service, or, the times that they've, had times with their buddies back in the day who may not be with us anymore.
Sure.
Maybe Mike reminds, another Marine of, a guy he served with, or, it's just, I mean, to me, I get goosebumps when I think about it, because when I step back, there's not very often I get a chance to step back while we're on these hunts, but when I step back and I see what's going on, I mean, that's what keeps me going, and that's what, giving a chance for these guys to, reconnect and, maybe find a new passion, maybe they don't pheasant hunt, guys we're taking out this weekend, maybe they're not really pheasant hunters, but they get into it, and it gives them, the release that they need,
mm-hmm.
and, gets them out of the house, and basically, ultimately, the whole 22, hopefully, if they have any thoughts of that, basically they find something to keep the thoughts away from it. It's.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, it goes way more, like you said. It goes way more. It's way more about hunting, and that's hunting. Period.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you've said this time and time again. I've heard you tell the guys, killing something's icing on the cake.
Yep. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something that Ben and I, I know we feel strongly even with ourselves, but just sitting there, the conversations that you had in a blind.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, those are worth gold, or more than gold.
Yeah.
And, So yeah, it's a fantastic organization, and one that I can't mention enough how proud we are to sponsor it. All right, I hope you're enjoying the conversation with Justin, but we're going to take a quick break to let you know about our 6th annual Coyote Tournament. In-person registration begins Friday, February 25th at our Hebron, Ohio location, with proceeds from the 50-50 raffle at weigh-in benefiting American Hero Hunt. For more information, visit vanceoutdoors.com/Coyote Hunt 2022. Again, that's Vance, VANCE, outdoors.com/Coyote Hunt 2022. What's American Hero Hunt looking like in the next couple of years? What are we looking like next year? What's on the horizon or the big plans?
So like I said, we got this coming up this weekend. We've got a hunt. We're doing a pheasant hunt. We always try to do at least one a year, and take 2 guys on that hunt up at Lake Hill Hunt Club. It's a private club up in Ostrander, Delaware County. They hosted us last year. Mike's Blackout Barbecue, Mike English, he's going to be cooking stuff up for us again. That's originally where we met him, and then he ended up cooking for us last year at our barbecue and trap shoot out at Dillon Sportsman's Club.
Yeah.
And that was a huge hit. So I think he's on board for anytime we need him in the future. He's gonna help us out again. So coming forward to the rest of 2022, our initial board, we had our last board meeting in December. We kind of jotted down a real quick, itinerary or hunt list of what we're going to do in 2022, and it's pretty much going to mirror what we did in 21. I think we're going to have to make some tweaks just because of manpower for the long hunts. I like doing the long hunts. All the board members joke with me. You just like going out there and camping out, for 5 days.
Yeah.
We can't all do that.
Yeah.
But to me, that's what the camaraderie is about, is doing that. But so we are going to do. We're coming down to the wire here, but we are going to do a. We did our wild game dinner in 2020.
Early 2020, pre-COVID.
Early March, 2 days before COVID.
Yeah.
The country shut down 2 days after we had the banquet. So
I was so bummed I missed that.
That was a huge hit. Obviously, we didn't do one in 2021. We did do the golf outing in August of 2021. That was another huge hit. We are going to do that again. So look out for those 2 fundraisers. So that'll be March of 22 and then August of 22. But as far as hunts go, we're going to have probably 2 spring turkey hunts again. We're gonna get a walleye trip. We're gonna get up on Lake Erie with Holland Charters. I can't.
Oh yeah, Holland Charters.
Holland Charters. Yeah, we're gonna be going up there again.
Great outfit.
And then I'm gonna miss some, but so I counted them up. We're gonna be right at 28 to 30 again. Another big one is gonna be our barbecue trap shoot. That's gonna be 10 heroes. Maybe even more, depending on how we get that set up out there at Dillon Sportsman's Club.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing that again. And then obviously rolling into the end of the year, we're going to have, we are going to do a bow fishing trip again. The rain kind of, messed us up.
Sure.
In the summer. The rivers and everything, what we tried to, the lakes we tried to go on were mudded up, so it was tough. But we're going to try to do that again. And then rolling into the busy time of the year, we're going to have, we're going to have the 2 deer hunts for archery. One in, we're probably going to go back to Coshocton County again.
Sure.
We're definitely going to be down in Athens County. Yeah. And then we're going to have 2 shotgun hunters. We're going to have 2 muzzleloader hunters. Now the muzzleloader might be shortened down to 2 or 3 days instead of the full 5, but we'll see how that goes. But there's a lot that we're doing, and we've been talking with another organization about doing basically like a couple veterans or a couple heroes and their spouses.
Yeah.
Staying at a place, bringing them. So basically, the heroes come, they bring their spouses. A few of us board members bring our spouses.
Do more of a family.
Spouses do their type of thing. While we're out hunting, and then we all come back to the table and have dinner in the evening, type of thing.
Oh, that'd be great.
That's really cool.
And just be a retreat for a couple of days on a weekend. And
that'd be great.
And ultimately, it'll get our spouses, our families involved more, and stuff like that. So. Yeah, we're going to have crazy year. I mean, we got the Coyote tournament coming up with Fances. That's here in a couple of weeks, the end of February. So I mean, it's going to be crazy. I'm looking forward to it, but also I keep telling myself everything's going to slow down. But
I
never get a break. You know, I'm here with you, and then I got the pheasant hunt this weekend, and then the next day, actually, me, Mike Lake, and Dan, one of our other board members, he's got a field up north by his house on Sunday. We're going to go up there and see if we can't shoot some geese. And
heck yeah.
So
he's getting,
I mean,
he's getting what's his boy's name?
Mike getting Coop out.
Yeah, Coop. Gosh, how did I miss Coop? Coop's a legend.
Yeah,
getting Cooper out. I saw some pictures. He had some pictures of them the other day.
A couple weeks ago. Like, last week. Yeah,
what is he like? He's like 9,
11,
10,
12.
11?
I think he's 12 now.
12.
Yeah, he shot that giant buck. I went out and helped them recover that. I got that all on video, and that was pretty sweet. So, yeah, it's going to be nuts, and I'm looking forward to it. But
we have any ambitions on going west yet?
I want to. Yeah. I'm hoping personally. I want to go out in October. But
he wants to chase some speed goats again. Don't you?
Oh yeah, I got to get me another antelope. Obviously, it's got to be bigger than the one I got on the wall, but which shouldn't be too hard to do.
But, Zorn will help you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I want to. We have the capabilities. You know,
sure.
Montana Canvas hooked us up with a really sweet deal on a huge canvas wall tent. We've used it a few times for our hunts and stuff. And
pitch it on public land or private or
whatever.
I
mean, we've got national. You know, you got national land out there. You get all the public land. I mean, that's all I hunted when I went out there. You know, you can pull off anywhere on the BLM land and camp. You know, set up camp and. It'd be cool for a couple of us to be able to devote the 5 days and go out there and take one or two guys out and go shoot some prairie dogs and shoot some speed goats.
It'd be a blast.
It would.
Prairie dogs with a bow is like something I want to try. Really.
So we went and checked some little colonies when we were out there. It was raining and nasty, so there was only a handful of them out, but. It would be tough.
Yeah.
It would be. I mean, you'd have to sit there and wait and sneak up on them.
For sure.
But yeah, it would be fun. We ended up not shooting any, but we went out and checked out Rushmore, and because we were so close to it.
Oh heck yeah!
And we went and checked all that out and stuff. But yeah, I really want to go. I really want to, as an organization, I want to load the trailer up and go out there. That'd be sweet.
Well, it'd be cool. I mean, especially with these states where if you can get some type of connection with an outfitted guide, or you can, know, something where they can help you with that barrier to entry, in terms of success, it'd be easy for you as an organization to go buy an over-the-counter tag. But what's the chances? I mean, it's not all about that. We both know.
Right.
But if you're spending that much money and that much time to go out there, you want it to be successful for the person, know? And so, but I think that'd be super cool to get to a national level, man. I mean,
oh yeah, and well, speaking of that, I mean, so at our last back in September, we had our annual meeting, and we redid our bylaws and all that good organization, nonprofit stuff you got to worry about. But
sure.
We basically created so in our bylaws it was an advisory council. You could bring people on to advise the board. But actually we basically turned that into what's called a pro staff. And that's what everybody wants to be on a pro staff.
Oh,
but
sure.
Ultimately, for the type of guys who want to help, the type of guys who want to be able to put some time in, but they can't devote to making 7 board meetings a year.
Sure.
Can't devote the time to being at the hunts and stuff like that. We're working on, implementing that, and basically designating people as, pro staff. So if Jordan, Ben, you guys wanted to, be a part of it, sure. We can,
I mean, I know we're prime examples of that because I know we both love the organization. I mean, we had talked about even having me on the board and stuff, and
wish I could help more than I.
Yeah.
have
you know
been.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just like you. I got 2 kids. A wife that doesn't understand why I want to be away for 5 days hunting. I mean, so it's always so difficult, and helping. I mean, there's nothing better.
So leading in the national thing,
sure.
Eventually down the road, say we make connections out west with somebody, or somebody knows somebody out there, or just like this, someone hears this podcast and, they want to be, they want to help, but they're in Pennsylvania or they're in Michigan or they're, farther out west or whatever.
Sure.
It would be, all it would entail is basically us, one, knowing who they are, basically vetting them the same way, we vet, any of our heroes and stuff like that. And basically making sure they're on the same page as us.
Yeah.
They know what, as an organization, what our core values are and, how we run things and how we do things. And really, I mean, it would be, if I met Joe out in Wyoming and he said, hey, I can host a guy out here for a weekend, let's find one, let's pick one, I'd let him run it.
That's all. Yeah, that's all.
Grab a bull by the horns and go,
Sure.
and just do it. And obviously you would have the backing, you would have the help, you would have, resources from American Hero Hunt to do what you need to do. And ultimately, as an organization, I think that's where we're going to end up going.
Sure.
But for some reason, I had a dream a year or two ago that American Hero Hunt will eventually own some land.
Yeah.
We'll own, whatever it needs to be in order to host a few heroes, have a lodge, have, a giant pond, have,
Oh, yeah, exactly.
all that stuff, a place to bring guys and hunt and fish and just do that type of thing. And it's ours, it's something that we can do, but then we can still use our branches, we can still use everybody that we've met over the years and be able to take people on different properties as well. That is what would keep us, giving back to and reaching as many heroes as we can, which at the end of the day, that's what it's about. So.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. Well, Ben, you got anything else for him, man?
I was going to ask about out west, but you already asked it.
I knew that. I already knew that was in the back of his head. I was just reaching back here and grabbing it. I've heard him say that before. Well, thank you for being here, man.
I
appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Vance's. I appreciate
Go ahead and give your 30-second spot. Where can everyone find you? Let's get the social media, website, all that good stuff.
Website's AmericanHeroHunt.org. You can find, some of our sponsor logos, pictures of past hunts, testimonials of hunts. Social media is American Hero Hunt. You can find us on Facebook. I'm not as active on Instagram just because I just got too much going on, but I do need a social media person too. So
yeah. Well, let's hit that again. So if you are a young videographer or budding photographer, and you want to give back to heroes and you want to give back to a great organization, definitely reach out to them and hook it up. I mean, there's so many people that want to film hunts and want to break into that industry. What better than to film some veterans, and having a great time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's, we had Ben has edited a few videos. The team here has messed with some and they all turn out fantastic.
It was a blast for sure.
I mean, I can film. I can't get as good as film. One, we don't have the equipment, but two, I'm not skilled in it like Ben is. But there's people out there that are, people out there who can edit, who, might want to help, who might want to be able to do that type of thing. And that's what we need to, continue to let us do what we do and make these videos, one, to, promote sponsors, because ultimately that's where we get our donations for gear and stuff like that. But so then these heroes have something, they have a recap of their weekend. They have,
oh, sure.
and it promotes the organization, ultimately, other people who are, possibly wanting to put in for it, they'll see it and like, oh man, that'd be awesome if I could do that. So we need help in a lot of them little intricate, little behind the scenes type stuff. We need help in all that. And then, I've always said it takes a village, and, we're building that village. We just got to keep growing it. So we need social media guy, we need video and editing and all that good stuff. So
hit them up on Facebook.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Message on Facebook. I'm always, it comes through on my phone instantly. I'm always on. Like I said, our website, you'll be able to apply for all our hunts on there. Facebook, we live or die by, so you'll be able to see what's coming up. You can even apply to some of our smaller local hunts on our Facebook page. Yep. My email is j.jones@americanherohunt.org. Or if you're local and you want to come sit in on a board meeting, we have a board meeting usually the second Thursday of every month. And, reach out to me. You're more than welcome to come sit in on a meeting and see what we're all about, see how we run things. We usually try to, one of us that are going to be there will, we'll personally go out and, we'll buy pizza or whatever. So we always have dinner,
Sure.
And hang out and get through our business as fast as possible, and then, plan for the future. So
Sounds good. Awesome. Again, thanks for coming. That's all we got, man. Until
I
next
had a
time,
blast.
guys.
Yeah.
Thanks,
had a
Justin.
blast. Thanks,
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. All right, everyone, that is all we have for you today. Again, we want to thank Justin Jones and the entire American Hero Hunt team for helping us put this on. Leave a comment down in the story notes. Give us a rating if you can. It definitely helps grow the channel and helps get this out to more people. And as always, enjoy the pursuit.